New questions now after a murder suspect claims to be a serial killer. Is she? Miranda Barber telling a reporter she started killing when she was just 13 after joining a satanic cult. She's 19 now, and she's accused with her husband of luring a man with a Craigslist ad in November and murdering him. And she's claiming it's far from the first time, telling a reporter, quote, "When I hit 22, I stopped counting. I can pinpoint on a map where you can find them. I remember everything. It's like watching a movie." Ken Zimmermann is a legal analyst, National Law Journal contributor, and former general counsel, and Dan Shore, a former prosecutor, associate managing director of the risk management firm Kroll. Great to have both of you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dan, have you ever had a client who's arrested on one charge and brags about others?
Certainly had people who are arrested who then want to talk about other crimes that they know about or they've committed, but nothing like this, where she's saying she could have committed close to 100 murders that she lost count. It seems hard to believe that by 19 she really could have done this, but she's saying that she can pinpoint where the bodies are, and law enforcement's going to follow up. So we will have answers about whether there's any veracity to this, but we do know there's overwhelming evidence that she committed at least one vicious murder with her husband, where she lured in a man through Craigslist and then had her husband strangle him while she stabbed him about 20 times. So she's certainly violent. We don't know how violent she's been in the past.
And there are so many questions in this case. Our Rick Leventhal is on scene getting answers today. Ken, at this point, she's got a public defender, so chances are, and the attorney I saw quoted saying that they didn't know that she was going to do this interview with a local reporter who certainly got the shock of their life when she said that she had committed all these other murders. The first thing I thought to myself as an attorney, but not a criminal defense attorney, is, boy, what a setup for an insanity defense. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I agree with that, but the attorney says he didn't know she was giving the interview. Saying it was a setup for an insanity defense might be true, but it might be giving her too much credit. This is a woman who's accused of murder in November in Pennsylvania. She's facing the death penalty. She may just want attention. She may want to become known as the next female Ted Bundy, for all we know. It's hard to know if she committed all of those crimes, and even if she did, it's hard to know what was in her mind, if she knew right from wrong when she committed them. And the only other thing I'd add, Jamie, is that this woman does not fit a serial killer profile. As you probably know, most serial killers are men. Those that are women are typically older, and those that are older and are serial killers as women don't usually use knives, which she's accused of doing. So this isn't a typical scenario that we'd see in a serial killer case.
The other thing is where the body was found. From the one body she is accused of, that murder was found in a backyard, and usually serial killers, they say, go out of their way to hide any evidence. But listen to Mark Furman, how he describes, and Dan, I'm going to ask you your reaction on this, how he describes what may be her state of mind right now. Listen.
Perhaps it is something that is a trend, that the infamy of serial killers is so enticing that somebody in jail would rather be a infamous serial killer than just a two-bit robber that turned murderer.
Representing Dan criminals, in their mind, if they know that they're probably going to be convicted, do they want to be bigger and more famous for having killed more?
Some people might. We have obviously a celebrity culture where sometimes people want to be famous for things that aren't very good. Here, she's saying that she might have killed up to 100 people. However, I don't think there's a real insanity defense here, because for insanity, you need to say that you didn't know the difference between right and wrong. And here, she actually used deception to lure this victim in, which shows she did understand that. And also, you have to not be able to know and appreciate what you're doing. Here, it was a very calculated, planned out killing. That goes against the general insanity situation where you're kind of in a daze, you don't really understand what's going on.
I'm really glad you brought that up. That's a great point, Dan. So Ken, let me ask you this. She is, at least in the reports, quoted as saying that she killed them because they didn't deserve to live. That's interesting. Would you know that that was right or wrong? As a defense attorney, how would you turn that around?
You know, she's certainly not coming across as a sympathetic character, I'll give you that. Another possible issue that could come up is that she claims to have been under the influence of a cult since the age of 13, a satanic cult. It's entirely possible that another defense they may try to bring up would be a Patty Hearst-like defense, where she was not able to control her own actions. That's another direction they could go in, but it certainly was not helpful that she gave that interview from what we could see, and I'm sure her attorney wasn't pleased when he saw that she gave it. She's certainly not helping herself.
No, it's going to be tough to toss that one out. This investigation now crosses many state lines, and we'll stay on the case. Certainly bizarre at this point. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.